It is time that we had a talk. A real talk.
Hey, what is up, guys? Star Wars Real Talk here with the Rebel Jedi Podcast, Episode 3. Today we are here again with Jedi Makios.
Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about the latest episodes lately, so I'm ready.
Yeah, and now that we're I think it's only going to be 6 episodes, so we're kind of over the halfway point of Kenobi now.
Oh, that's so scary.
I know, right? So it's like now is the time when people are starting to form like actual educated, honest opinions on whether or not Kenobi is holding up. And I would like to start by saying it is for me. It's checking all my boxes so far.
Yeah, that is such a scary thought that we're over the halfway mark. I think that's probably why like people started to become critical of Episode 4, because I think people's expectations were, I don't know. Anyways, before we get into that, what are like as a whole, you're enjoying the show?
I am, yeah, extremely. I think the episodes are just long enough. I'm sure a lot of people would like them to be longer, but honestly, like that 40-minute, like between like 35 and 45 minutes, like just perfect episode length. Enough time to like build a plot and like resolve it while enticing the viewer for the next episode.
That's true. Yeah. At first I was kind of worried about that being too short, but it feels fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the first 3 episodes were like a freight train. The 4th episode, a lot of people were saying like it's maybe the weakest, or people became critical. I mean, the whole thing was shot with one director with one vision. So, it's all supposed to feel like a movie, right? From like start to finish. So if episode 4 is the weakest episode, that's just maybe the slower, less fun of the movie that's building. Would you agree with that?
I put episode 4 as like probably something similar to that. I call it more the deep breath before the plunge, though. Like the whole like it's really calm. Like Leia's like safe as we know so far. Kenobi like succeeded in his mission, all that. But there's still so much unrest, like with Vader and the Inquisitors, and you know that they're gonna like answer and respond in a very severe and extreme manner. And I think we wanted to see more of that. I think in episode 4, being like sort of the halfway episode. But I think they're just setting up 5 and 6 to be incredible, and I'm just really hoping. I'm going to use the word hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah. Because I don't think my dreams have been crushed yet. I'm not
going to use the word scared, because I'm not scared, because I think they are going to do a really good job. And if like it may not like completely quench my Kenobi craving, but they could set up for a season 2. And I'm, as much as that might break me.
I know. You see, I don't think scared is a bad word to use. No. I think that's a completely reasonable word for Star Wars fans, because we're all a little bit scared that they're gonna. I don't know. We're just all a little bit worried that they're just going to screw somebody up.
It's an abusive relationship we're in with Star Wars, and we got trust issues, and they're warranted.
Yeah. That's okay. So there's so much I want to get into. I'm trying to like pick a lane and go down.
Okay. Yeah.
So Inquisitors, that was my biggest concern about Kenobi, was that there was going to be too much time put into Inquisitors. So far, I think that it's been a really nice balance.
They've just like, I completely agree. Sorry to interrupt you, but I didn't play Fallen Order, and I know that Inquisitor base, and the Inquisitors in general are almost introduced to the general viewer in Fallen Order, and I didn't feel like I was lost on them at all, having even like not played it and only like watched through Rebels once. I don't really remember the Inquisitors too much in Rebels, but
that's a statement that I think I made to you the other day. It was that I think that Fallen Order paved the way for this show.
I agree. I remember you saying that.
Lots of themes, being hunted by Inquisitors. I mean, this whole this Inquisitor for like the fortress, the underwater fortress was so
Mhm.
exciting because a lot of us have played through that in Fallen Order.
Oh,
And like
okay.
Obi-Wan, like that's the final level is the Inquisitor fortress. And
Pardon me.
Cal Kestis, the main character, gets into the fortress the same way. He swims in and finds a little entry point. So I was like, man, they are like, this is literally the same. I'm fine with it, but it is literally.
I was gonna say, like, how do you like feel? Do you think it's lazy at all? I don't think that's lazy.
I don't
I
know.
think
People are drawing parallels to everything. They're drawing parallels to the OT about rescuing Leia. I don't know. I think without Fallen Order, it may not have been received as well as it did. Maybe that's a dumb statement. Maybe it would be. I mean, you said you hadn't played Fallen Order and you enjoyed the whole fortress thing.
I did. Yeah, I thought it was super cool. If anything, I thought it was almost like it felt like Rise of Skywalker to me. I don't know, like just seeing that fortress and like it's raining and so like it really felt like it was from like Rise of Skywalker, like when Kylo and is there on what the heck is that planet called? I am blanking. Exegol? Exegol? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
And so like you just get like that evil dark side vibe, and I think that's all you need to explain when it comes to a Star Wars show, right? Like you don't need a huge like background lore for it. You just need, oh, does it feel dark? Does it look dark? Oh, probably dark then.
Dude, how good was that shot of in the fortress, the big halls of stormtroopers and the long windows with fish? It was just like, it was perfect.
Yeah, and honestly, that's something that's been really prevalent in the show is how like the cinematography is amazing. Like even just on Tatooine, like just showing Obi-Wan's like little hut.
Yeah.
Like it's so small, but you're just in there.
Did you notice the purge trooper? I think that was a purge trooper in the fortress, right? When Obi-Wan was in the hallway and he was like holding back the glass or whatever, there was a black stormtrooper leading the other ones, right? He was like at the center. I want to say that was a purge trooper. Maybe
I may have missed that,
but I don't think a death trooper would be down there. I think purge troopers are like stormtroopers designed to hunt Jedi, so it would make sense.
That would make more sense.
But we didn't even get to see him in action. That was kind of a bummer. I was really hoping to see him whip out the electric baton or something,
Yeah,
because that's kind of the thing.
Maybe that's to come. Maybe they're setting up because man, they know that we're junkies for troopers and like different helmets and like, oh, that's a call to this and Easter egg to that, like just like even helmet design, And okay, one of my favorite scenes so far, and it's such a minor scene. I know a lot of people have really liked this scene as well. Was the clone trooper on that planet, like with the homeless clone trooper.
Oh yeah, the 501st trooper there.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's just sort of like that opposite, like Anakin, Darth Vader is now like in a position of power and like, but abandoning his Anakin and abandoning the 501st, and this is like all that's left of it.
What a flood of feelings that Obi-Wan must have had seeing that 501st trooper, because at first he would have probably seen like a comrade, someone that he would have been in war with, but then he sees, Order 66 version of them. And he's like, this is like the third phase of this clone trooper's life, which is worthless and homeless,
That's, yeah. Oh, man. And like just Obi-Wan, like you can just see him, like every single tragedy that hits him or that he's reminded of, it's like he's no longer Obi-Wan. He's not Obi-Wan. This is Ben now. This is Ben Kenobi.
But how about the Jedi robes? In episode 4.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
you saw him and like with his lightsaber, you're like, okay, no hermiting anymore.
They were dirty and gross, but they were his Jedi robes, boy.
Damn it. Yeah.
You know what's funny? In Fallen Order, like at the very end, spoilers to everyone who hasn't played Fallen Order, when Darth Vader shows up at the end, like right at the end of the game, and you're just trying to escape him pretty much. It's so funny that all this shit goes down. Vader shows up right at the last minute to shut it down. And then in this episode, Vader shows up right at he's just like always just like too late. Like he just should maybe just start hanging out at this fortress because shit keeps going down. Obi-Wan will come to him. He doesn't have to hunt them.
Yeah, no, for real. Like he's just showing up everywhere. So one thing that kind of hit me in episode 1 and 2 of like, not, I guess not 1 at all. More episode 2 and 3 was Darth Vader, Anakin. Like especially in episode 2, it didn't. I was confused at like just how Darth Vader was putting together sentences, and this I'm just nerdy and I notice little things like that. But
I mean, like how his actual word structure and his sentences were.
Yeah, it sounded.
I did notice that too.
I would just assume that he would like Darth Vader at this point would sound more just like Anakin and not really like Emperor or like Lord Vader. But then in episode 4, he was talking to the Inquisitors. Maybe this was episode 3, and he said something, and I was like, oh, that's Anakin. Like that's Anakin for sure.
I had the exact same thought. Literally,
okay, like when they're like on their base or whatever, like he says like he's mad. Like I remember that he was like really upset. He's just like said something. I was like, holy shit! I'm pretty sure Anakin said something exactly like that.
He was talking fast. Like Vader doesn't ever talk fast because he stormed into the room and was like,
right,
dude. If I was that Inquisitor, I would have filled my armor, man.
I mean, yeah. Oh, and okay, another thing about Inquisitors, like you were worried that they were going to go too much into the story, and I agree. They're perfectly dabbling in the Inquisitor storyline. And when the third sister killed the Grand Inquisitor, I was like, ooh, that's a bold step. That's a bold. And they're running with it. They're owning it, and I think it's honest. It's paying off so well.
I guess they just wanted her to have that because he was kind of in the way, I guess, of her development.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he just had to go.
That's the Sith way, right? Like kill your master.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad they retcon Rebels like that, but like I really am not happy they retcon Rebels. But
okay, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with just little changes, like for the sake of a story. I am okay with it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's funny how I've come around on the Inquisitors. Like I feel like almost without the Inquisitors, the show like they do such a good job at keeping the story moving because. With just Obi-Wan on Tatooine, there is no reason for him to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, it took a kid being kidnapped, which is like a very popular theme in Star Wars these days. But have you noticed that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like with we got the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, got
the
Rey
Bad Batch
being taken away from her parents.
Bad Batch and Omega.
Yeah.
What's another one? There's another one I'm blanking on right now. But anyways, it seems like having a guardian and a small child with them. It just seems like a really popular theme. Episode 1. With
Anakin too. Yeah, you're right. And okay, one thing. This is such a small thing for me. I am so happy we're seeing Alderaan. I am beyond happy. It's like finally now. We have some connection, some attachment, some emotional attachment to when like Alderaan is blown up in episode 4.
Yeah, we've
like,
seen the rooms.
Finally, we have like this beautiful planet of peace like is just decimated by an empire of war, and like just now we can finally have those two parallels.
So I never noticed that Senator Organa. So he's working with the Empire.
Well, I mean, he's working with the Senate, but if he
never left the Senate, I guess.
No, because in episode 4, Tarkin isn't on the Death Star, and he's saying, Emperor Palpatine is going to like make the Senate obsolete, and then later in episode 4, he does make the Senate obsolete. So the Senate at the point of Kenobi is still functioning in a sense, but like it's essentially the same way the Senate was functioning when Julius Caesar was running it. Like it was, but it was only functioning the way he wants it to function.
Right. Yeah, democracy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and I think that's why maybe Alderaan was one of the Empire's targets, was to get rid of Bail Organa and that senator that would have backed the rebels.
Hey, I got a prediction for you. So there's this tension between Reva and what's that other Inquisitor? The guy who also wants to be the chief.
The Chinese one?
Yeah. I didn't
yeah.
want to just come out and say it, but yeah.
I know, but it's Han. I'm just gonna call him Han. Because that's the same actor for Fast and Furious, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
I think so. Maybe it's not. Someone can correct me, but I'm just gonna call him Han.
He probably looks a little different than he did in Fast and Furious.
But yeah, there is that tension, that rivalry for sure between.
You think
them.
they're gonna fight? Honestly, that would be sick if we got an Inquisitor fight and Reva took him out.
I don't think they're gonna fight. I think Kenobi's gonna take out one of them.
The fifth brother. Okay.
Thanks, Mystic.
He better, man.
Yeah.
He better take out it. Like,
I hope Kenobi does something. Yeah. I mean, but honestly, man, if they just own the fact that the Kenobi story is just a story of tragedy and failure, I hope they literally just lean hard into that. Like when Luke finally meets him, like quote unquote meets him, like in episode 4, like maybe there's a reason why he's just like still a hermit on Tatooine. Or maybe it's because he's just not needed by Bail on Alderaan anymore. Maybe that's how they're going to wrap it up. But
yeah,
I'm going to throw a prediction at you. Okay. So not episode 5, but episode 6. They're going to throw Maul in there.
No.
Yeah, they will.
That's
for
very
sure.
Bold.
Yeah, no, that's my prediction.
You're very confident in this prediction.
I am.
Why?
I am. Why am I very confident in this prediction? Because they want people to think Solo is a relevant Star Wars movie.
That's probably the best answer, like the most accurate answer you could have had.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why. Because, like, honestly, the whole reason to watch Solo is literally for the last 12 seconds when Maul lights his lightsaber on a hologram.
That's going to be the last episode of Kenobi. Maul's going to show up in the last 12 seconds on a hologram.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, how many people, when they say, have you watched Kenobi, and you just say the word Kenobi, they do the Maul scream impression.
Yeah.
I've done it at least, like, 12 times, so.
12 times today.
Yeah. No, not today, but.
Okay, I'm gonna nitpick a little bit in this latest episode. Let's talk about this latest episode. Are you familiar with any of the criticisms or anything?
I haven't really been paying attention to them much. No. What are people saying? Like, what are some of the major?
I'll start with my own criticism. That's not really criticism of the episode. It's more of how Disney handles Jedi.
Excuse me.
Have you seen the video from Robot Head about how Disney doesn't understand lightsabers?
No.
Okay, 100%. I got to show that to you later.
Okay.
But kind of like since Disney took over, lightsabers don't do much dismembering anymore. Like they cut clean through things, right?
Yeah.
But all of the lightsaber kills they're all like just nicks.
Slashes, yeah.
So when Obi-Wan kills a stormtrooper, he like fucking nicks him 2 or 3 times in the front and the back, and then he drops. It's like you don't have to hit him that many times. You can just stab him or
you know what I think they're doing there, and I'm just gonna stop right there. I think they're trying to show that Stormtrooper armor isn't irrelevant. Because, I mean, you look at it in episode 4, it's literally one laser blast, and they're just done. They're dead. See you later. And I think also, like, when he's fighting them, I don't know, I noticed that he was just trying to use, like, just the tip of his lightsaber and try to, like, keep them at a distance like that. I think that may have just been the way he was fighting.
Okay, just keeping
that's what I kind of noticed. Like, it didn't feel like they were trying to make it so that he wouldn't like slice them in half across the chest, you know? It didn't feel that way.
And like to counter my own point, when Din got the Darksaber, he was fucking annihilating those guys. He was
believing.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, we're back in lightsaber territory again. But then when I saw this episode, I just wasn't sure, so I wanted to hear your take on it.
And also, honestly, it could also be this is just another sort of thought, like Obi-Wan not being comfortable with his lightsaber, like not remembering his strength with it, or not remembering things like little techniques, little things here and there. Because I mean, last time he used his lightsaber properly was to kill his brother Anakin.
I'm glad he didn't take any hits. I was so worried that he was going to take a hit, but he was pretty solid. Like he was blocking shots from both directions.
Yeah.
It was good. It looked good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he looked like General Kenobi again. Like he
Yes.
looked, yeah,
Thank you, Mystic Mac.
just so heavy.
There's no reason why they should be so heavy.
It's called a lightsaber, not a weight saber.
Yeah. So I guess I'm actually not super familiar with that many criticisms of this episode. I just know what I've seen in my Discord server and a little bit on Facebook. So if anyone's watching and they have some criticisms, please.
Yeah.
The spoiler chat in my Discord looked pretty intense.
Yeah, I had to mute it for a little while, but just peruse some of the highlights.
Yeah, some people were pretty mad, like saying that they were disappointed with the episode. Just with the whole show in general. I was like, oh shit, I am not getting that vibe. But okay, so what I titled this YouTube video, let's start there. The criticisms of Darth Vader. Yeah,
okay, that was one of the big ones.
So a lot of people, I guess, weren't happy with how Vader handled Reva. This isn't what I think, but I'll tell you what I think. But how he handled Reva letting Kenobi escape or letting Obi-Wan get away. People thought that he handled her too mercifully. He should have killed her. He should have cut off one of her limbs. He should have, he was too not Darth Vader-y enough, I guess people are thinking.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, there was good reason why he didn't, right? She put the tracker in Lola. The whole time when Reva was interrogating Leia, I thought she was going to snap that droid in half, and I kept wondering why she wouldn't. And then when they were in the base, and he's like, I'm tracking them. It's like, oh, I knew it right away. I was like, she put a tracking device in Lola. I don't know, what do you mean punish her? Punish her for what? For being smart? For finding all of the rebels instead of just one?
For Obi-Wan getting away. And I agree with you. People were saying that he should have.
But I mean, he's not going to get away. He's going to stay with Leia. And even if he doesn't, Lola's going to be with Leia. And they're always going to have a way to draw Obi-Wan towards them.
Yeah,
they're always going to have a way to draw him out. Yeah.
I think that they handled him. It was fun. The only thing I didn't like about that episode was him saying, "I underestimated you." Which is I don't think Vader would have said. I think he would have been more.
Maybe Anakin would have, though.
Maybe, but I feel like Vader would have been a little more cheeky. Like I put in the Discord server. Careful not to choke on your aspirations. He's choking and punishing, and he's clever and he's witty, but it's also like a fucking dagger.
It's also it's very much threatening. Yeah.
So I expected more like, okay, you put the tracker in. I'm not gonna kill you. But I'm gonna make sure you know that this isn't a total victory because he still got away. And I think him choking her, that's a punishment. She almost died. That's how Vader punished people in the OT. That's how he punishes everybody. He just fucking chokes.
I know, he literally just snapped 3 necks on his way to fight Obi-Wan.
Oh, that was so good.
That was badass Vader. That was actually just them showing Vader is a fucking menace. He's a menace. He's a monster. Yeah. He's not Anakin anymore.
Yeah. So
I think I'm gonna cry episode 5 and 6 straight up. I think they're gonna pull some emotional heartstrings because that's something we haven't really talked about yet is how emotional this has been. This Obi-Wan, he's defeated. This man is just seeing defeat at every possible turn, and he doesn't even realize the extent of his defeat until episode 2 when Reva says Anakin Skywalker's alive. Now he realizes that he put this boy, this Padawan, his apprentice, through all this pain, and he didn't even finish the job. He didn't even put him out of his misery. Now he's Darth Vader, something incredibly terrible, and now it's it's not just his job to watch Luke anymore. It's his job to make sure Luke doesn't become like his father. Now that he knows who Anakin is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a prevalent emotion in all 4 episodes I've found. He's just, every time you see him just off in his mind or just looking off into the distance, it's man, he can't get over his failure. The one failure that was, some would even say the fall of the Republic and into the Empire. Like
yeah, when
Obi-Wan's
they're
failure.
like, when what's her face, the spy was like, "Oh, I didn't think Obi-Wan could make mistakes." He's like, "Bitch, you have no idea what this fucking guy is responsible for."
The man started and finished the Clone Wars single-handedly.
Yeah, yeah, but Ewan's done a really good job with conveying emotions because Obi-Wan is really not vented or complained at all. You know, like you've just seen him dealing with things. You know, you've just seen him reacting.
Brilliant, isn't it? Like he doesn't talk about his feelings. He just displays them on his face and in his actions. And you're right. It's Ewan just being brilliant, like and showing that to us instead of them having to narrate it, you know?
So what do you think about the back to the Vader criticisms? One of the biggest criticisms was when Kenobi got away on that other planet, and there, you know, because of the firewall or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that they nerfed Vader or something? Like,
well, I mean, I don't know what they wanted there. Like, do they want it canon or do they want it not canon? Because obviously Vader does not kill or like severely mess up Kenobi enough. You know, in this in between time, as per our information in Episode 4, you know, like A New Hope, like Obi-Wan is in perfectly fine condition, it seems, and is even strong enough to fight Vader one more time. You know, so I don't know. Like they're telling a story. I'm just letting them tell the story. You know,
I think I agree with Mystic Mac here.
Vader let him go.
I think. So my opinion on this has been
seeing the hate and suffering of Obi-Wan fueled Vader's own hate and suffering for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan was there. He was within his reach. You know, he could have put the fire out. He could have force jumped. He probably could have walked through it with his suit. You know, like his suit's pretty. I think it's fire resistant.
Likely, right?
So there was 10 ways that he could have gotten to Obi-Wan. I just think that he was probably, you know, taking in what just happened, and he's knowing that he's going to get Obi-Wan. Maybe that he's waited so long for his revenge that he's maybe willing to wait to just get it right. You know, just he wants that perfect revenge. He doesn't want it to be maybe just reckless.
That is Vader. I would say that's Vader. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, he could have just snapped Obi-Wan's neck
to savor the moment. Yeah, to savor Obi-Wan's suffering.
He was just holding him in the fire. Like,
yeah,
you know, he wants to torture him. I think that he wants to capture Obi-Wan and torture him for a long time.
But and Vader knows that Obi-Wan isn't like, if you just like destroy his body, it's like, okay, cool. The way to like destroy Obi-Wan is to destroy the people around him, the ones that he loves.
Yeah.
And Anakin would know that, and Vader would know that too.
Yeah. So,
and the fact that it would be Vader doing it, aka Anakin, it's like that's like the knife in the heart. That's the twist.
And like we don't know what Vader's thinking because it's just the helmet. There's just like they have to film him at different angles to convey different thoughts and feelings and moods. You know, the zooms, the filming from behind his helmet, it all kind of shows him when he's deep in thought. So like, we know that he was thinking about whatever, and I think that it would have been nice if Vader is a strong silent type, so it makes sense that he didn't say anything, but it would have been nice for them to just make him say, let them go, or something, just so that we would not be wondering, you know, did Disney fuck this guy up? You know, that's how the fans are. You know?
And I guess my answer to that question would be, did Disney fuck this guy up? Not yet. We have 2 more episodes.
There's still time. Yeah, I think they've handled them well. Vader's my favorite character in Star Wars. I watch him under a microscope, and I'm fine with it. And it's going to be a sad day when they can't get James Earl Jones to do the voice anymore, because he just keeps coming back, man. Like,
honestly, at this point, I feel like we have enough James Earl Jones voice clips that his voice will just be Vader for eternity.
We're at that level of technology that we can kind of synthesize voices, right?
Right.
If you have enough recording of someone.
I mean, they synthesized Alec Guinness's voice, the original Obi-Wan, to say Rey from Afraid in A New Hope.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to what we were talking about with Hayden and his voice,
Mm.
I feel like it would have been kind of nice if they had bridged it a little more. Like, I know it's been 10 years, so it makes sense that his voice sounds more like A New Hope Vader.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's been a long time, but it would still just be kind of nice to see a little bit of a bridge.
Just like a little transition from like last of young adult Anakin into fully adult mature Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of bridge, because it's kind of just
I'm
seems
still
like
okay with it though, because it makes sense.
And it's how he was in Revenge of the Sith too, right?
Mm.
Oh, this is a good
That's
point.
right, yeah.
It's almost like Vader was disappointed with the fight with Obi-Wan. Yeah, like he wasn't threatened by Obi-Wan when he got away. Definitely not threatened. Maybe he's like...
Sorry, there's a freaking big ass bug in my apartment
like
just
he wants
squishing
to beat
it.
Obi-Wan at his best and realized he wasn't going to get that. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Can you put that comment back up?
Sure.
Yeah, I felt like he wants to beat Obi-Wan. Oh, he realized that Obi-Wan is like kind of a joke right now.
Yeah, wouldn't be the same.
Sort of like pathetic almost, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Dang, it's that Mystic back again, just coming in with these hot topics.
How sick was the back to tank scene?
I was literally just gonna bring that up. I think that is my favorite part of this series to date. Like it is. I thought that was so cool, and you can totally tell it's Hayden as well. You know.
Yeah, we finally got to see Vader thinking and reacting to something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and like just angry, like those eyes, man, like and like just his like brow, like just constantly furrowed and like just I
gotta rewatch
everything.
That. I wonder if he was like kicking himself for letting Obi-Wan get away. Like you gotta wonder what he was thinking.
Mm.
You know, disappointed, just pure anger. You know,
maybe he was just like, I almost feel like he was like, until next time, you know. You know, like because he knows he'll come up again. He knows that Obi-Wan can't resist it.
It's like
he knows Obi-Wan will try to make his mistake right.
Yeah, it's like the feeling you have in bed the night before an exam. You're just... yeah. What's this? One grape and back to should have brought us Clone Wars flashback.
Oh my gosh, that would have brought me to tears.
I was expecting that with how much back to tank flashbacks we got with Boba Fett. You know, I think we were all expecting flashbacks of the Clone Wars. Yeah,
it's like back to tank. Oh, get ready for some flashbacks, boys.
It was good. I liked it. The flashbacks were good in the Book of Boba. Like I love flashbacks.
Do you think they're going to reveal any Jedi anymore, like canon Jedi in Obi-Wan? Like, do you think? Okay, let me be more specific. Do you think they're going to reveal Ahsoka or Ezra?
They better not.
Better not. Okay.
Give Obi-Wan his spotlight.
Okay.
They don't deserve to be on his level.
What about Cody?
Cody.
Yeah,
wasn't he
like from Revenge of the Sith, Commander Cody?
Yeah. Oh, I was just trying to think if he was rumored to be in the show, but that was Bad Batch season 2. Cody's going to be there. That's right.
And there's some like Star Wars things coming out this year. Like, holy moly!
It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. That's for sure.
Well, there's tons of content anyway. Yeah.
Speaking of Jedi, in the fortress.
The
tomb, right? So what those are? I mean, they seem like Vader's trophies, maybe of the Jedi. But we were talking about this in the server as to whether or not those Jedi were alive or not. You know, are they in stasis?
Because one thing I noticed was like I didn't really see any like wound marks on them, like no like burn marks from a lightsaber, no blast marks, no like dismembered limbs, no slashes, marks, bruises, scrapes, freaking swollen areas, like nothing. So it's like I don't know. Well, we know like the Sith tend to run like experiments and like cloning experiments as well. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just trying to make more acolytes.
But like, how the okay, every time I think about this, I twist my brain up into a knot and I stop thinking about it. So I don't know words. Who caught them? And how did they get them into that state? Because they're all kind of upright and they're all kind of like, like, what was it that got them? Did Vader hold them in a freeze position and then put them in the tank and then whatever that?
Yeah, because it's like they're liquefied. Or not liquefied. They're in like a liquid.
It looks like amber, right?
Yeah.
And isn't amber like a syrup or something? Isn't that what it is?
I guess so.
Like hardened syrup.
Unless it was just like paralyzed, like
what? So I get it if they're dead and Vader's keeping trophies. I get that, but for them
I guess
he would
only need to like hold / keep them paralyzed until the amber hardened, and then they just straight up couldn't move. But I don't know. It looked liquid to me. Like it looked like some like tank with like a syrupy liquid or like a formaldehyde thing or something like that.
I will say it. If Obi-Wan in the last episode is like, there's a bunch of Jedi, we have to go rescue them, and I'll be pissed. Like there's no way Jedi are being held at an Inquisitor fortress, and
there was like some of those Jedi or Force users looked like old. Like some of that armor looked like ancient.
Yeah.
Like that one big guy. I think you know which guy I'm talking about.
The Genghis Khan looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like my theory, I guess, if they're alive, it's because Palpatine wants them alive because he has some kind of purpose for them, right? Because Vader's his like whole job was to kill Jedi. So it doesn't really make sense for him to like take them back alive. Like it just it hurts my brain to try and understand.
Yeah, and I don't think they're ever going to explain.
A good story for another time.
Or a never time. I think they can just leave that scene in there and just leave it to the imagination.
Like have you read the Vader comics at all?
No, I want to though. I want to read so many Star Wars comics.
When he's like hunting Jedi, he'll like go fly to a planet or whatever, and then like deal with the Jedi and kill them or whatever. But like, I'm just thinking, how ridiculous is that he goes to a planet right as he's about to kill them, he's like, I'm gonna save this one and just.
Which makes me think it probably wasn't Vader then. It probably was the Inquisitors.
Maybe Vader wanted to interrogate them and torture them and then kill them.
To find other Jedi, yeah. And then he just was like, fuck it, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Weird. Right, it is kind of like hurting my head a little bit to think about like, what the fuck is the reason? What's the purpose?
Yeah. So to move on to a new point, I asked a question in the server. It was a debate topic, and what do you think is going to happen with the show? Do you think it's going to continue with Leia? Do you think he's going to end up back on Tatooine, and we're going to get a little bit of a story revolving around Luke, or are we going to get something else? And it was like overwhelming votes to we're going to get something with Luke, but now we only have 2 episodes left, and I'm wondering, do you think they'll maybe save that for season 2?
If they even do season 2, I think we're gonna get more Leia.
Yeah, for the rest of this season.
Yeah,
it'll be too hard to jump into someone. I don't know.
I agree. Like I think it's like to introduce Luke. Maybe they do like the last half of episode 6 with Luke. That's like the only way I could see them incorporating Luke, though, because I don't know. They need to do something in episode 5 that is just blows our fucking minds, because they need to set up episode 6 to have on a higher pedestal than what episode 5 is right now. And in order to do that, something needs to happen in episode 5.
And it can't end on Tatooine because Vader has to. He can't know about Tatooine.
Not yet.
He can't ever know about it.
He can't know that Obi-Wan has his heart. Qui-Gon. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
they've been building up to that. Hey?
Yeah, they have. They actually have been. I just realized. I was like, my man Obi-Wan has like prayed to Qui-Gon every episode so far. Yeah, Papa Jin.
Yeah, well, for sure. That's absolutely that's happening, and I think it's going to be Liam Neeson.
Oh, it has to be, right? Like,
how do you not bring back all these legends?
Ooh, it's that'll be like the last. Like, if they do that, okay, it's gonna be last half of episode 6. Going to be Luke, Obi-Wan to the Hermit Cave, Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon, Force Ghost. Nothing but net.
yeah, I could see that. I really don't know where this show's going to go for like the next.
And then, boom, end credit scene, Darth Maul, because Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon. Nailed it.
Yeah. Shit, we have this contract with Ray Park. We have to get him. We have to get him in.
Solo must be relevant.
He's at the fucking front door. He's banging on the door. He knows we haven't put him in.
There needs to be a double lightsaber. He's like the only one. He's the only double lightsaber user. We thought we were gonna get Ray, but no. Somehow Disney fucked that one up. What
the fuck was with the dark?
Like, if Ray was dark side, she would use a double-sided lightsaber. Well, that just proves that you made the wrong call, Disney. Like, way to call yourself out. That's another video. I feel it.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan has Leia, and they're probably going to go drop her off on Alderaan, right? Unless something happens. I mean, they're being tracked.
Yeah.
So Vader eventually knows that, like, he knows that Leia's from Alderaan, right? And in the New Hope, we know that because he targets her planet and blows it up.
He wants to go back to Alderaan. Yeah.
You think that he's going to get that information from this show? You know, like, because they're going on Alderaan. Do you think like Vader's going to show up on Alderaan? Like, I don't see that happening, but like,
maybe as oh man, this is such a tough call to make because it's like he could, right? Because he does in episode 4, A New Hope, he does recognize Leia as like senator, right? Like, because she's like. She responds to him by saying, like, we're on a diplomatic mission. And it's like Vader has to kind of respect that. And so I think it's very possible that he goes to Alderaan kind of knowing, not kind of knowing, but knowing that Obi-Wan was the one to rescue Leia and knowing that Leia's going to go back to Alderaan. I think he'll go to Alderaan in order to look for Obi-Wan and try to get something out of the Organas.
That would be so weird seeing Vader. It's like, I feel like a storm cloud's got to follow his ship when he comes in, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's just so epic and intimidating. And just seeing like those like Imperial cruisers like above your planet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, you know what I really want to see is I just want to see Vader. Like we saw that in the back to tank, but I want to see Vader in a state of like we're very used to seeing him calm and controlled. But I really want to see him lose his shit. Like I really want to see him get mad and just not be
like a Kylo Ren hissy fit.
Like like not be so well put together. Because Vader always seems like he's in control, even when things aren't going his way. He's still in control. He still has the power. Like I'd really like to see him wrestle with his feelings with Obi-Wan. You know, just some kind of
like just outrage, like outburst.
Maybe I don't know. Even know like rage, yes, but just conflict. I don't care what kind of conflict, just
like almost like you want to see a little good in him, or no?
No, I just want to see him stirring with it.
Because I think they might do that. I just thought of that. I think they might. Oh, no. Because Obi-Wan, when he's a Force ghost to Luke, he says to Luke, like, there's no hope. Like, there's only Luke's the one that thinks there's the good in Vader. So I think, Obi-Wan needs to see Vader do something. And I guess he has already with like the villagers there. But I think Obi-Wan needs to see something crazy. I think Vader's gonna like dismember his love interest there, the girl from Game of Thrones, the pilot or the Imperial officer. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like Obi-Wan has to come out on top, right? To make it canon.
Maybe, or maybe he just like runs away back to Tatooine.
But like, like Vader has to be humiliated in some way because he like. Okay, this is my like when he says, "When I left you, I was the learner," right?
Yeah.
Which is vague, and that could be pinpointed to many
Mhm.
areas. But if it's going to be this show, you think Vader is going to end up in a position where he feels like the learner? He still feels like I've been.
I
I've been
think
put
that
down again.
you're right because in A New Hope he's like when he feels Obi-Wan he's like that's a presence I haven't felt since. And then
Yeah.
the next thing he says to Obi-Wan is now I am the master. Like or
Yeah.
when we last met you were the whatever you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think you're right. I think Obi-Wan has to like wreck this man's shit once more.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna actually beat him up, like really rough him up, or do you think he's gonna
I think yeah.
like trick him, trap him somewhere or something?
No, no, I think I'm just gonna put it. I think he's gonna beat him up. I think he's gonna win in a fight.
I think Obi-Wan will try to turn him in the finale to keep with the line in episode 6 where Vader said Obi-Wan once thought as you did. Oh, that's interesting. I totally forgot about that.
I forgot about that. Mystic Mac, you are coming up here.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's a really good point.
I would be really like I still want to see like in Star Wars Rebels the cracked helmet with like the single eye or both eyes. Like I want Obi-Wan to see the flesh of Anakin's face in some way. See his eyes, and maybe
you just want to see Hayden
flicker.
Christensen in a full Vader suit.
Yeah, out of the back of the tank.
I thought that like vision of Anakin that Obi-Wan had, like when they were getting transported by that star-nosed Republican. I'm just kidding. No, but like what of Anakin like in his brown robe, because I always forget that Anakin's robes like aren't like black; they're just really, really dark brown.
Mm.
And like in the sunlight, like when Obi-Wan sees him in that hallucination, I was like, oh man.
I guess that was kind of our only like flashback, right?
So far, yeah.
Yeah, it's still possible. Like instead of little flashbacks here and there, maybe episode 5, like half the episode is a flashback or something. Like they have a really
you know
solid
what? People are gonna get so mad at that, though. They'll get so mad. They will because it's like, oh, we want to see the storyline progress. We don't want flashbacks. Okay, cool. Then it'll be episode 6. I know because they can't see the big picture yet. But you and I know that with this, we just got to trust the process right now. Like there's no way we can know what they want to do right now, but we know that it's been pretty epic.
That's a good point. If the helmet is off, we might get to hear Hayden's voice, his actual voice.
Yeah,
not synthesized or anything. Yep. Any other talking points you can think of from the episode, or anything you want to predictions or anything like that?
Well, I think just a kind of couple little small notes, but just Obi-Wan using the laser, like using the blaster. That's not Obi-Wan, that's Ben. Ben's uncivilized. Ben's not a Jedi. Ben's not part of the Galactic Republic. Ben's a lowly, meat cutter. He's a butcher. And so Ben uses a blaster. I just think it speaks more to the defeated Obi-Wan. Yeah. But now in episode 4, we finally have him using his lightsaber again and like being precise with it and like remembering his old techniques and developing his connection to the Force again.
Yeah, when he's like planning his infiltration of the Inquisitor base, it felt like we were gearing up for an episode of the Clone Wars. Hey,
yeah, and then also like on that note, it's like they could go one of two directions with that, right? They could build it up so Obi-Wan's on top and has this victorious state at the end of Kenobi, or they could keep the Kenobi defeat theme and something extremely tragic happen in episode 5 and 6. Well, it could go one of either ways. Like maybe it's a little bit of what you said. Maybe Obi-Wan does get the best of Vader, but in a way that Obi-Wan never would have wanted to again. Like maybe he has to do something again that he doesn't want to, and he's like, "I'm doing this again." To my friend. Yeah, maybe.
Oh shit! So,
what if they go back to Mustafar?
I was just gonna say that.
Can't
'Cause
blame
man, he captures Obi-Wan and brings him to his
Spot
castle.
where- because we know Vader has like a temple or something on Mustafar.
Yeah, we saw that in episode 3.
Perhaps, yeah, he like
No, that
somehow
was
captures-
100% his castle.
Yeah.
In episode 3.
Remember
when he was sitting on his throne there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was for sure. I thought you were like talking about like in Revenge of the Sith for episode 3. I was like, what castle are you talking about there?
Okay. Yeah, no. I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up then.
I think that's good. This was a good chat.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I guess we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, Mystic Mac, you are welcome back anytime, my man. Like you, jeez, and Juicy, good to see you here too. Who else is in this today?
Yeah, we had a few people come and go.
Yeah, good to see you.
It's a Sunday night, and I know that this is a really popular streaming time. So thank you to everyone who showed up and
absolutely
and made
thanks,
some time
guys.
for us.
Yeah, we love hanging out with you guys, and we like what you guys have to say as well. So,
yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more content, and may the Force be with you.